Afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. Weather out is again kind of a little dreary for some, kind of gray out there. A lot of cloud cover again. Temperatures again a little bit on the cool side. It's not terrible. We've certainly had worse, but again, I kind of think this is how the week is going to kind of go. Is the weather is going to be kind of meh. But we do have several chances for rain and snow in the forecast that we're going to talk about here over the next few minutes. Again, kind of a messy, busy week. System kind of moving through now, bringing us at least some small chances for moisture. Probably the more impactful system heads our way Wednesday into Thursday. And again, still not a whole lot of model consensus on what we could be seeing. Models ranging anywhere from really nothing here in Lincoln to at least a couple inches of snow. So we'll kind of talk about it and break it down here a little bit for you here over the next few minutes for you here. And again, as always, we'll have all the latest details coming up this afternoon and this evening on 1011 Now at 4, 5, 6, and 10. But again, kind of like I said, you look at sky cams from across the state, kind of meh out there today. Again, here in Lincoln, cloud cover kind of dominating our sky view camera here at 40th and W. A few breaks in the cloud cover out there. 44 right now, the temperature at the airport, but again, a little breezy. Northeast winds gusting to around 25 miles an hour at the top of the hour, so it makes it feel a little bit colder. 37 degrees is your feels like temperature. Again, in Grand Island, Hastings, Kearney, kind of looking at those overcast conditions, 31, so even colder as you head further to the north and to the west. So 31 right now in Kearney, but feels like 22. And it looks like a little bit of light snow trying to fall in O'Neill, so visibility reduced there. 21 degrees the temperature in O'Neill with a 13-degree wind chill with a light east wind at 7 miles an hour. Visibility down to 1.5 miles up in O'Neill in north central Nebraska. Again, so like I said, there is that one little system moving through. It's bringing some very isolated snow showers to the region right now. One of those being in the O'Neill area. If you look at the visibility map, again, it's kind of that north-central section of the state right now, at least dealing with some areas of reduced visibility. 1 mile in Thedford, 3 miles in Ainsworth, and 1.5 miles in O'Neill, 2.5 miles in McCook in southwestern Nebraska. Again, so some very isolated showers out there, bringing in some areas of reduced visibility. Temperatures across the state, again, for some, it's not bad, and really those areas are in southeastern Nebraska, Tekamah down towards Hebron, over towards Fall City. We're in the low to mid 40s. So again, for early March, it's not too bad, but chilly for much of the state with temperatures ranging from the low 20s to the mid 30s. Like we already mentioned, 21 in O'Neill, mid 30s right now for Grand Island, Hastings, low 30s in Kearney, upper 20s in North Platte. Again, these numbers close to where we were at yesterday. Again, we're coming way down from where we were this weekend when we had highs in the 50s and 60s. Winds variable across the state in their direction, more out of the east and northeast for eastern Nebraska, a little bit more of a southerly component as you head across parts of the Sandhills into the Panhandle, but winds anywhere from about 5 to 15 miles an hour, enough that when you factor it in, we have wind chill temperatures in the teens, 20s, and 30s across the state. So again, kind of a chilly day out there, kind of another gray day, and again, dealing with some of those widely scattered snow showers, at least for right now. Here's the satellite and radar picture. Again, you can see there's really not much here. We're looking at mainly cloudy skies across a good portion of the state with some of those very isolated showers. If I grab my pointer here, again, you can see hardly anything really, but there's just enough. They're up near O'Neill in north central Nebraska, and a little bit trying to develop in parts of southwestern Nebraska down into parts of northern Kansas. So again, I think this is going to be basically what we see today. Some isolated to widely scattered, very light showers. Could be a little bit of rain, could be a little bit of snow, depending on where you are. But again, really nothing too impactful, I think, for the day today into the day tomorrow. But we'll talk about kind of what we could see here on Skycast here in just a minute. If you zoom out and look at a regional view, again, the system that's moving through is bringing some moisture for areas north and south of us, some snow across parts of the Dakotas, a little bit of a wintry mix across parts of Kansas, some scattered showers down across parts of Kansas and into Oklahoma. So if we look at Skycast, again, this system, as it kind of moves through this afternoon, will hang on to the cloud cover, will kind of hang on to some of the breezy winds, and you can see, again, areas of rain that develop with this system. Again, we're looking at maybe some very isolated light rain showers into parts of eastern Nebraska. It looks like most of the moisture is going to stay down to our south across parts of Kansas into Missouri. And again, also, it looks like a lot of the snow could mainly stay just off to our north. So, but again, we're not going to rule out those chances for some light snow through the day, particularly for northern parts of the state, some very light rain, possibly for parts of southern and southeastern Nebraska through the night tonight as that system kind of slowly moves through the area. Even into early Wednesday morning, again, we can see some very isolated showers kind of hanging around, so we're not going to rule out that chance of maybe at least a little bit of moisture as we head into early Wednesday morning. Again, you can still see plenty of cloud cover across the state, so I think Wednesday going to be kind of another gray day for us. It says we head Wednesday evening into the day on Thursday. Our next system begins to move through the area. This one, I think, is going to pack at least a little bit more of a punch, but it's also right now the one where models are kind of all over the place right now. So Wednesday night into Thursday morning, this could be a tricky time frame. Again, that morning commute on Thursday could be impacted by a wintry mix of rain, snow, freezing rain, maybe a little bit mixed in there as well. Again, across a good chunk of the 10-11 viewing area. Again, we still have a day or two to kind of iron out the details here and kind of let some additional model information come in. But it looks like, again, certainly some accumulating snow is going to be possible. And again, some rain and maybe even some isolated rumbles of thunder also possible in parts of eastern and southeastern Nebraska as the system works its way through the area through the day on your Thursday, likely beginning to push out of the area by late Thursday afternoon and into Thursday night. So this is 10 o'clock Thursday night. That system, again, mainly out of the state with some clearing from western Nebraska into the southwestern corner of the state. If we go past Thursday, again, have to start looking at the longer range model now. Again, this is the European model. Again, also in pretty good agreement, at least in terms of pushing that system out of the area by late Thursday. It looks like we do see a dry day for most of the state on Friday, but another system then kind of dives through the area Friday into Saturday. It will again bring us some chances maybe for a wintry mix, maybe just rain for parts of eastern and southeastern Nebraska, including here in Lincoln, with that system pushing out of the area by late Saturday into early Sunday. And then it looks like Sunday, a mainly dry day for most of the state. But again, still a lot of time between now and then. So again, several systems tracking through the area as we head over the course of the next 4 or 5 days. But again, not a whole lot of model consensus right now in terms of what we could see in terms of rainfall and snowfall potential. So this is the longer range European model. Again, for snowfall, the system we have moving through tonight into the day tomorrow could bring some very light snow to parts of northern, western Nebraska, maybe even into northeastern Nebraska as well. Wednesday night into the Thursday, that second system moves through. Again, certainly a stronger system, has a better chance of bringing some more accumulating snow further to the south. Again, in Lincoln, it gives us a trace to an inch or so, so not a ton, but again, we likely would see a mix of rain and snow being possible in our area. And then Thursday and Friday, again, like I mentioned, Friday looks like a generally dry day. Another system that heads our way as we head Friday into Saturday, but again, at least in terms of snowfall, looks like it wouldn't be much. Looks like it might be mainly just rain at this point, and then Sunday looks like a dry day for us. So again, if you look at the European model, most of the accumulating really impactful snow likely stays to our north across the Dakotas and the northern plains as we head over the next several days. The American GFS model, though, still kind of has advertising a much different solution, a colder solution, and one that has far more snow being possible in Lincoln and southeastern Nebraska. So again, still a lot of uncertainty in the forecast. So again, would encourage everyone to make sure you stay tuned to the latest forecast as we head over the next 24 to 48 hours as these systems kind of get ready to move on through. But again, likely the main system we want to keep an eye on heads our way Wednesday night into the day on Thursday. As far as liquid precipitation is concerned, again, we're still looking at, again, probably the far eastern part of the state and then areas eastward, seeing the potential, at least, for a decent amount of moisture as we head over the course of the next week. I think, again, areas like Lincoln, Omaha, Nebraska City, Falls City could see a quarter to 3/4, maybe up to an inch of liquid precipitation. Again, as you head across really the eastern half of the state, we're saying maybe a quarter to an inch of moisture being possible, and then maybe a tenth to a quarter across parts of western Nebraska over the course of the next week with all these systems kind of put together. So So again, some decent moisture heading our way as we head over the course of the next week. We'll always take it. But again, kind of still questions surrounding in what form we could see that moisture fall, and in terms of snow, how much snow we could see. In terms of temperatures, again, we've talked about it a little bit last week. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. It certainly looks like cooler than average temperatures, especially in the afternoons. For our high temperatures are going to be the trend as we head through the remainder of the week. So this afternoon, again, we're talking highs reaching still the mid to upper 40s for parts of southeastern Nebraska, but even these numbers are a few degrees below normal. Our normal high in Lincoln today is 49, and so then you head further to the west, and you have temperatures falling into the 30s and then eventually into the upper 20s. So again, chilly conditions across much of central and western Nebraska this afternoon. Low temperatures tonight, again, though, aren't bad, mid-20s to mid-30s. Highs tomorrow, maybe a few degrees cooler than what we have today, but we're looking again anywhere from around 30 to the low 40s, with the warmest areas in southeastern Nebraska. Lincoln around 41, 37 in Grand Island, 36 in North Platte. Thursday morning, again, it's low 20s to low 30s, so these lows close to normal, if not a few degrees above normal. Thursday afternoon, high temperatures. This looks like it could be the coldest day of the next week. Low 30s to right around 40 degrees. We're looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 30s for Lincoln and southeastern Nebraska. Low to mid 30s across north central and northeastern Nebraska, and a mix of 30s and 40s kind of as you head across the southwestern corner of the state. Friday morning, again, upper teens to upper 20s for lows. Again, those aren't terrible for this time of year. High temperatures Friday, low 30s to low 40s, a little bit warmer in Lincoln and for the southern, really third of the state, with highs in the 40s. Areas in southwestern Nebraska could see mid to upper 40s on Friday. As we head into the weekend, again, Saturday morning lows look pretty typical for mid-March. Saturday afternoon highs do take a step forward for a good chunk of the state. Still a little bit on the cooler side for northeastern Nebraska, with highs around 40. Mid-40s is where we'll go here in Lincoln. Upper 40s, low 50s for the Tri-Cities, and could see areas near 60 degrees on Saturday in parts of southwestern Nebraska. Sunday morning lows, low 20s to low 30s again, and then Sunday afternoon highs behind that next system that moves through on Saturday. Again, maybe a little bit cooler, upper 30s to upper 40s across the state. And again, these numbers, 47 in Lincoln by this coming Sunday, that's a few degrees below normal, as our average high by that time should be in the low 50s. So again, cooler than average weather looks to dominate as we head over the course really of the next probably 5 to 6 days. The good news is, as we look at the longer range forecast, again, this is the 10-day forecast. Again, kind of pick your city and kind of go out. A lot of numbers on this graphic, but it is nice and kind of showing at least some of the trends. You can see as we head towards the middle of next week, things try and start to warm back up a little bit closer to normal by the middle and end of the week next week, with highs back in maybe the mid 40s to mid and upper 50s across the state. So that is at least something to kind of to watch. It's kind of the light at the end of our tunnel a little bit. Again, that 8 to 14 day outlook, though, from the Climate Prediction Center still favors the cooler than average conditions through the middle part of March. Again, that's March 15th through the 21st. So again, looks like maybe at least a little bit of a brief warm up as we head towards the week next week. But overall, again, maybe cooler than average conditions still kind of hanging on for us through that 8 to 14 day time frame. So again, the main takeaways, again, a couple systems heading our way as we head over the course of the next week. Still want to make sure everyone stay tuned to the latest forecast, though, because still not a whole lot of model consensus yet on kind of where we could see some of that precipitation and what kind of precipitation it could be. So as always, meteorologist Brandon Rector will have details coming up this afternoon at 4, and Chief Meteorologist Ken Shimmick will have details tonight at 5, 6, and 10, as well as a look at the snowfall forecast across the state. So again, as always, make sure you keep it tuned to 1011 for all the latest weather on air and line, as well as breaking news and breaking sports coverage as well. So thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. Again, we'll keep you updated here on the 1011 Now streaming studio throughout the day today. If you haven't done so yet, I would encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're live there several times a day. Again, you can scan that QR code right there. That'll take you right to our YouTube channel. So you want to subscribe there and turn on that notification button so you get notified when we are live. We do that several times a day throughout the day. So I'd encourage everyone to do that. So thanks everyone for tuning in. And again, as always, keep it tuned to 1011 for all your on-air and online coverage.